This Amateur Radio Roundtable is brought to you in part by ICOM America. Hey guys, look at there. We had a live audience here, guys, and our remote guests weren't hearing the live audience here. Hey, this is Amateur Radio Roundtable. I'm Tom Medlin, W5KUB. It's Tuesday night. This is Amateur Radio Roundtable on W5KUB.com, and with me, I've got Glenn Popeil, KW5GP. How you doing,
You
Glenn?
got it right.
I got it right that time.
Where's that audience again?
Yeah. We need the audience again. Okay. Hey, if you're listening tonight on WBCQ. WBCQ. Boy, I'm all messed up tonight.
You are messed up tonight, man.
I'm all messed up. WBCQ tonight. We're on that station tonight on 5130. If you are, you can join us here on the internet. Just go to W5KUB.com and you can watch the show and join the chat room with us. Our audio is being transmitted on international shortwave frequency of 5130 kilohertz. I have no idea where that signal is falling, but there's somebody out there listening somewhere.
Somebody.
All right, so let's see what we got. Katie is just getting back. I don't think she's in the chat room.
No.
But Katie was just getting back after a 14-hour drive from, where'd she go?
Somewhere in Wyoming. The Wyoming Ham Fest.
Some ham fest in Wyoming, and she's got a sore throat, and she's not able to get on here tonight. Now, you drive 14 hours in Wyoming. Do you have to drive in circles or?
Yeah, I don't know. I was wondering that myself. I didn't think you took 14 hours to drive to any part of Wyoming.
Man, I don't know, man.
I guess it's one of those places you can't get here from there.
I don't know.
But anyway, I am your replacement for Katie tonight.
That's right.
They couldn't find a red wig, but we'll just go with it.
This is the replacement tonight. I know the show, probably the stats are going to really drop tonight.
We just tanked, man.
But hey, tonight we got shack pictures. We got some great shack pictures for you tonight. We had a lot of them sent in. We've got Rich Morrison from CQ with us tonight, and we've got our new friend here, Pat Shoughton, K7LNP.
Soton.
Well,
we've asked three times, and none of us remember.
We'll get it right. We'll get it right. K7LNP, and he's going to be talking to us about 50 megahertz and above, and we're going to start a new segment on the shows in that area. That's going to be cool.
Pat, if it's any consolation, he messed my name up for over a year, so
I'll still mess it up.
You'll still mess it up.
Hey, let's do this. Let's jump over to Rich, and let's just get this thing on. Since I don't have Katie and everybody,
you have to keep up with me. Yeah.
And we just got you. The whole thing is on the rails tonight. It's not running. So let's just go straight over to Rich. Get the show started.
This up.
There's going to be plenty of interruptions, I'm sure. So let's see. There we go. Hey, Rich, how you doing, man?
I'm fine, thank you, and glad to be with everybody again tonight, and to tell you what's coming up in the October issue of CQ.
Well, I'm really interested in. Hey, show me that front cover again.
Here we go. I've got it's.
Now that's something I'm working on right now, and that's my satellite antennas, and that's pretty cool, man.
Trying to get it in front of the camera there.
There you go. You got it.
There you go. This is VA3 ELE, Echo Lima Echo, operating moon bounce from Zone 2 up in northern Quebec. And
okay.
So he did a grid D expedition over the summer, 2,800 miles. Talk about Katie doing a 14-hour drive. This is a 2,800-mile circle that he drove in, and he was on 2 meters and 432 and lit up the moon from a whole bunch of different rare Canadian grids.
Oh,
so,
cool.
Well, that's outstanding, man. Well, I'm going to give it a try, and I, mainly my stuff's set up right now for satellite, but I'm going to set a different antenna up and a little amp, and we're going to do some EME. So I might be getting in contact with him
Okay, that would be good. Yeah, EME has gone from being of something that only a select few people can do, needing massive amounts of power and antennas, to being something that almost anyone can do, especially with the digital modes like JT65 and thing FT8 and stuff like that, or 100 watts and one Yagi pointed at the moon can get you a lot of contacts with generally with better equipped stations on the other end, but it's no longer the province of the select few. So that's very cool stuff. But the October issue, despite the EME cover, is our emergency communications special, and we've got our usual selection of different articles on how to enhance your emergency communications skills, abilities, and station. And in fact, our mini focus this year in the emergency communications special is on enhancing your station. A bunch of different projects that you can do to increase the flexibility and longevity and reliability of what you're using to communicate with. We have four or five different projects. So there are all sorts of different ideas to help you have the best station possible to provide emergency communications. We start out though with a non-project article, a new different concept in emergency communications by W3JY called Neighbors Helping Neighbors. Ham radio clubs in service to the community. And his concept, he's the head of Radio Relay International. And their group is organizing radio clubs around the country to work on a neighbor-to-neighbor basis with their communities, as opposed to focusing on working with the local governments, working with the local communities directly, and involving family radio service and general mobile radio service in community networks when there are communication outages, and then using the ham stations to communicate with the government agencies and long distance. So it's a very interesting concept that he explains in his article. Among the projects we have is called something Beyond Untethered. WB2REM and K5PA did an article several months back called Untethered about using remote wireless headset to operate your station. And this is a follow-up to that, which takes advantage of a new model of that headset that has a lot more flexibility and capabilities, and you can do a lot more with it. So you're not physically attached to your radio as long as you're within Bluetooth range of it. WA0SPM has a project article for building a transceiver cooler, a way to keep things running cool. His focus is on radios used for MARS, military auxiliary radio service, in doing digital communications. Those are our high duty cycle modes and have a tendency to have radios run quite hot. So he's got some circuitry and project for building a cooler for those radios and any other radio that you're going to be using on a long-term basis during an emergency or public service event. Our buddy Sherlock writes about direction finding to solve a 30-year transmitter hunt, trying to track down a station that has been causing interference for quite a long time, and the methods that are used to try to find him, and eventually successfully did find him. KD0HKD, who's written a couple of articles recently for us, has a project for putting an FT897D, which is a very popular portable radio, into a gator case, and Then WB9YBM has another project on making your own remote base link so that you can either using your home station or your mobile station, set up your own remote base, which would extend your range, particularly in emergency communications. Several of our columns also touch on EMCOM, obviously our emergency communications column. Walt Palmer, W4ALT, talks about over-dependence on our devices and how we can fill in the gaps when those devices don't work. Magic in the Sky, editor Jeff Reinhardt, AA6JR, writes about simpler is better when it comes to EMCOM. And even for our new bands down at 630 and 2200 meters, John Langridge, KB5NJD, writes about their potential role for using those bands for emergency communications. We got a lot of other stuff in the issue too, and in our VHF Plus column, the story of VA3ELE and his Canadian grid expedition with all the moon bounce, and that's our cover story. Antennas editor Kent Britton, WA5VJB, reviews the Paradan antenna disconnect actuator. This is a really cool device from Paradan Radio. It automatically, when you turn off the power to your rig, it automatically disconnects and grounds your antenna, and then reverses it when you turn the power back on again. So it's you don't have to think about unplugging the antenna and grounding it, and it does it for you, which is a really cool thing. Mm-hmm. We've got a de-expedition story on going to Rotuma in the South Pacific, 3D2 Echo uniform, de-expedition there. We have a news analysis on WWV and the possibility that it's going to go off the air due to budget cuts, and along with WWVB and WWVH, and a article on a well-tuned mobile HF antenna system, a portable QRP antenna showdown. Joe Eisenberg, K0NEB, in our kit building column, finishes up building his Hilltopper and talks about the possible return of Radio Shack, not directly, but through Hobby Express stores. So that's something to look forward to. And we even have space for a little fun. W1VIV writes about how he invented the Hamrick, or ham radio limerick.
What was that? Which?
The ham radio limerick.
Hamrick.
Oh, okay.
A ham radio limerick. A lot of fun there.
All right.
And finally, NW7US, our propagation editor, is predicting good conditions for the CQ Worldwide DX single sideband contest coming up at the end of October.
All right. Well, you know, I'm real interested in this issue because of the things I'm working on right now. It kind of just goes right along with what we're doing. And I put together a remote base the other day, and something you just mentioned, where it turn the power off, it disconnects the antenna, grounds it. I've got my remote base set up like it. When I turn the remote base off, it turns the power supply off, and it disconnects the antenna. So that's a good feature. You just don't want that antenna on there all the time, do you?
No, you don't.
When you're not at home, man.
No, you want that thing disconnected. I actually had a pair of egg beaters on my roof probably about 12 years ago, and I went to replace them with my current stack. And when I pulled them down, one of the egg beaters, the PVC mast was literally fried at the bottom. It had been hit by lightning, and I'd never known it.
Well, Rich, I'm anxious to read about that. You're right on track with what I'm doing, and we're going to try to stir up a lot of interest here on the show about EME real soon. And like you said, it's so easy now for people with relatively small stations, a single antenna, maybe a little amplifier, sideband, and JT65 to make actual Earth-Moon Earth contacts. So we're going to be doing some of that.
Yeah, I want to try some of that too. That looks fun. It's one of the things I've never done.
Yeah, I've only watched a contact once. It was really amazing to hear the echoes of your signal coming back off the moon. This was a CW station quite a ways back, but it was just amazing listening to the echoes come back, and then he was able to make a random contact off the moon, which is pretty unusual. That was really amazing. By the way, I think that even though it's officially fall, our Summer Madness subscription special is still up and running, I believe. People can check that out at our website, www.cq-amateur-radio.com. Just click on the subscribe button and you can find out all the details of our Summer Madness special, which, again, don't hold me to it, but I think it's still running.
Okay. Well, Rich.
And our calendar should be out soon, too.
Okay. Well, hey, we thank you for coming here tonight, each month, and sharing what's coming up in CQ Magazine. We're going to look forward to seeing it.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one. Earth, Moon, Earth is something I've always wanted to play with, so that's going to be fun.
Okay.
No, it's not Earth, Mars, Earth yet.
Earth, Mars, Earth. Okay.
We're getting there.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll do some more. Hey, I tell you what, Rich. When Glenn and I do the Earth, Mars, Earth, we'll contact you, and you guys can be the first ones to put the article in your magazine. Okay.
Yeah.
All righty, you're on.
Yeah.
You're talking to a guy who has never run more than 100 watts. It ain't happening on my end.
All right, man. Thank you so much.
All righty. Good night, everybody.
Nice
All
to see you, Rich.
Good night. Good night.
Somebody wants to know how to get the current issue.
How to get the current issue?
Well, if you're a subscriber, it'll be coming in the mail. If not,
Right. And then you can also subscribe on our website or go to zinio.com for the digital edition. And or you can call the office up and order a single issue to be mailed to you.
and that website is what? CQmagazine.com?
CQ-amateur-radio.com.
I had it all wrong.
Yeah. All right. And if you get the digital subscription, you don't have to wait for that magazine to come in.
That's
I'm
right.
old
You'll
school.
have it with you everywhere you go.
I like the print version. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm old school.
Yeah. Well, we've got to learn.
I like them both.
Got to
Yeah.
learn. Thank you, Rich.
All righty. Good night, everybody. See you next month.
All right. Good
Thank you.
night. All right. All right. That was Rich Mosen, W2VU, the editor, chief editor of CQ Magazine, telling us what to look forward to in this coming month's
It's going to be
magazine.
a good issue this
It'll be a
month.
good one. It'll be a good one. All right. So, have you got the rest of the show scheduled out here? I mean,
Have I got it scheduled out?
Yeah, that was.
If I take it, it's off the rails, man.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, you better just roll with it from here. I thought you were
All
going
right.
to bring Pat in.
Let's bring Pat in now. Let's talk
Bring
with
some
Pat.
sanity to this.
Let's bring Pat in here and talk a little about, guys. What we want to do is we want to start another segment about 50 megahertz and above. Let's get Pat in here. There he is. Hey, Pat, how you doing?
Good, Tom. Well, how about yourself?
Well, we're doing really good down here. And now you're out in Salt Lake City, aren't you?
10-4, right in the middle of the Salt Lake Valley.
Okay, out in the middle of Salt Lake. Hey, does that make your antennas work better? Is it salt up here on the ground or not? I don't
Well, these mountains on either side of us are a killer
know. Yeah.
for VHF and UHF. So we've had to get very creative over the years.
Well, I've never been to Salt Lake. Is it salty?
Yeah, the lake itself is salty. I was out there
Yeah.
1982,
Yeah.
and a beautiful, beautiful place. I mean,
It is.
it was, you know, I mean, you know, I was there for company training, but, you know, got to do the weekend tours. We went up to, I think it's Snowbird Mountain there, and just had all sorts of fun. And one thing I noticed or remember about that at that time, again, 82, you had a lot of electronic surplus outlets there. And several of us in our group were hams, so you know where we were every
Ooh,
Saturday
I'd
and
like
Sunday,
to see that. I'd like to see that.
digging through the
Yeah.
surplus out there.
Yeah,
Well,
there
look.
used to be a company actually not too far from where I live that used to reclaim the gold out of the surplus equipment, and they would buy the stuff for literally nickels, pennies on the dollars.
Yeah.
And what they would do is before they pulled the gold out of it, they just stuff it up on the shelves. Man, you could go in there and you could drop your whole paycheck on if you were, especially if you were interested in the VHF, UHF, SHF stuff, because you just don't find stuff like that anymore. But they're long gone. We had a shop here in town called Rayelco. It was like an old time TV repair shop. They carried everything, and they had a fire this year, and I don't know if they're reopening again, but some pretty interesting stuff for sure.
Yeah, that was one of my
Yeah.
favorite trips.
Well, let's. Hey, one of the things I wanted to mention about Pat, he had a radio show. Pat, what was it was on? Was it KK 680
Yeah.
630?
Yeah, 6:30 K-Talk, KTKK.
It was called
6:30.
Fringe Radio, and Pat did that for about 10 years. He even had me on the show one time, man.
Oh, that really went fringe then, didn't it?
Yeah, I hope we didn't hurt your viewer numbers
Yeah.
too bad that day. But
No, they
you
went
had all different type people on your Fringe show, right? Tell us a little about it.
We did. Well, for me, Tom, it was interesting because a little background for my career in radio. I started out at a real young age getting into shortwave listening, and then I got into, like a lot of people, the CB craze. And then when I was a teen, I got my amateur radio ticket, and it also, for a profession, I'm in the IT business. I've been doing that for 30 some years now, and I always wanted an opportunity to be able to do real radio, if you want to call it. Let's call it professional radio, although I didn't get paid for it. So it kind of came full circle for me, and it was a lot of fun. And we did the show for upwards of 10 years. We did Saturday nights, and then we went to 6 nights a week. We did midnight, from midnight to 2 a.m., and then we continued to do our Saturday night show. And yeah, we started out with ufology and all that other kind of fun stuff, and then started moving to the technical realm. And believe it or not, it's been 2.5 years, Tom, since the first time I met you. It was time goes quick, but family started taking kind of a back seat because, as you know, to put a show together, to book guests and that, it's a lot of work, it's a lot of time, and besides doing my full-time job and trying to manage family and then doing that, something had to give. So, but we enjoyed it for many years.
All right, so in your ham radio background, you've really done a lot in VHF, UHF, super high frequencies.
Mm-hmm.
What are some of the super high frequencies you've worked?
10 gig is it. I have there actually is a microwave group out here in Utah, and we meet once a quarter. The one nice thing about out here is that a lot of these peaks and mountains, you can get to the top of them. You don't have to climb necessarily. There are roads in the summertime that you can get up there. So there's actually a couple of 10 gig beacons here in town as well.
Wow.
But I've been on 2304, 3456, 5760, and 10 gig. I've done EME for years on 2 meters. And 432 for quite a while. So I've kind of run the gamut on the VHF stuff. I'm no expert by any means, but I've blown a lot of stuff up. I've had a lot of failures, and I've read a lot of articles and try to share what I've learned with other people.
So in addition to working all the VHF, UHF, and above, you've done some EME?
I have for years, yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm originally, I'm a Chicago native. I moved out here 20-some years ago, and I had a four 16 element antennas that were up for a whole 3.5 months, and then one of those Midwestern rainstorms that turned to ice just took everything down and just crashed it. And that was years and years ago. And then when I came out here, I had my other QTH. I had a 4-bay array up for 2 and 432, and I'm in the process of rebuilding mine right now. So I've done it for quite a while, more listening than talking. And with the advent of the digital modes and what Joe has put together, with JT65 and all this other stuff, I mean, it's just opened up the doors. But I will say that it's still difficult to do. It can be done with a small station, but there's some things that have to be in place, and that's something we can discuss and talk about.
Yeah, and I'm hoping to do it before, really winter sets in.
Yeah, you're going to have to do it before winter because once that snow starts, you're not going to be able to get up on a roof or anything.
Well, we do get quite a bit of snow here. We get a quarter inch a year.
Yeah, but three flakes and there's not a loaf of bread for 100 miles.
Well, that's true. Yeah,
You know,
that's true. But,
I mean,
but
seriously.
one of the things that is going to help me this winter is that I've got a lot of trees around my house. I mean, I think I can get a signal through them. It's going to attenuate them for sure. But I mean, I'm just covered with trees.
Wait for
man.
the ice storm, all the limbs will fall down, you'll have a clear shot.
Yeah.
But see, Pat's my kind of guy because he said something early on, I want to dig a little deeper in. You used to blow stuff up? What kind of stuff?
Oh boy.
You let the smoke out a lot of good stuff.
Well, I built a few homebrew amplifiers years and years back. I've kind of moved all my stuff now to the solid state PAs. But yeah, I've damaged preamps. I've done different things. I've rushed putting connectors on, and those little fine hairs, they can't touch that inner conductor.
Oh yes.
And especially if you throw some power through them. I've had connectors fail up on the tower as well. So I've had my my share of trials and tribulations, but I learn from everything that I do.
Oh yeah, it's no fun unless you let the smoke out. But you said something interesting there that kind of got me, and I haven't done a lot of the UHF level work. And you talked about the fine little metal burrs and metal hairs getting into things. How does that differ at the UHF and the 10 gig type frequencies versus the HF frequencies? Do they act differently or anything like that?
Well, I mean, the connectors have just got to be done right. I mean, you can't have any kind of, even for HF, you can't have any kind of shorts. But it's like once, in my opinion, once you move past 150 meg or 144 meg, and you're going to start to put a lot of power through, you want to use strictly N connectors. PL259s, while they're great for HF, they're great for 6, they're even great for 2. If you ever sweep them, most of them aren't even 50 ohms. So when you move up in spectrum, again, a good N connector or an SMA connector or DIN connectors, 7/16 DINs, if you're going to run a real lot of power up high, are considerations that you want to make.
Well, I want to tell you something I've learned, and being a ham for 54 years, I'm an engineer and all that stuff, and electronics all these years. I thought I knew it all, but I got some cheap connectors on eBay here a while back, and this is on 40 meters, and I put this out there, this cable, and I started having some trouble almost immediately. And I wasn't running but a kilowatt on it. But I don't know if you can see or not, but you might can see that it actually arced over. You can see, you can kind of see it on there. And I know it's an inferior PL259, so I ordered me some Amphenol connectors and have them in there.
Well, here's your real problem. You're missing the rest of the cable.
Yeah.
Obviously, you bought this off of eBay.
I think I had.
You ordered connector only, right?
I think I had probably an Amphenol on the other end, and I salvaged that part of the cable. I wanted to say this to show people a brand new connector, and I know I did a good job of putting it on there. But you can see how it has arced over there in the center there.
Yeah, I mean you can really see the.
Yeah.
We don't have any white background here, but
it's
charred right along the edge here. You can see where it arced over.
But it
was constructed correctly. It's just you ran a little too much power into this thing.
Pat, you're talking about different connectors at UHF and so forth.
So what'd you say you were running that time? 10,000 watts?
Yeah, about 10,000.
Yeah, that'll do it. Yeah. But anyway, let's get back to Pat here.
So I know on the much higher frequencies, probably you should even use a little bit better connector. I think, there's still a lot of ham gear though that comes out with 259s on VHF, Yeah.
Yeah, I've got
Yeah,
all
and it-
end connectors on my VHF, UHF stuff.
Yeah.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, Pat, but aren't these end connectors also more waterproof than the PL259s?
I'd say they're about this. Yeah, they're not as clunky. They definitely fit together better. There is a connector out there that I've used and I've had good success with. It goes on like a PL259, but then it has an adapter that screws on like an end connector. I know some people say, oh, yeah, it's not really the best way to go. I've used them. I've put full legal limit into them, and I've never had a problem. My fear is with bad connectors up on the tower when it's 5 below 0 and it's snowing and you run some power to it and then it pops the connector. Well, now you're kind of done until the snow melts out here. So that's probably my biggest fear. But I try to use end connectors on everything.
Yeah. All right. So what we need you to do next time when we are in the segment, we're going to be talking about. I ran a poll in our Facebook group to see kind of what names people might suggest for this, and so far the best name is 50 megahertz and above. So that's probably kind of where we're going to go with it for now.
Sure.
So what we'll do is now you can start trying to plan that segment, And you mentioned Joe Taylor earlier with his digital stuff. I know we want to do some digital stuff. Maybe you get Joe to come on the show, and we have him as a guest one night, and we do that. But get us some pictures and things, and show us some of the things, and give us some little lessons on how to get started on some of these really high frequency. Should I say super high?
Yeah, well, we don't, we're in flat land here, so we don't have a whole lot of gigahertz level stuff going on. We do have some ham WAN and some mesh activity around 5 gig, but that's all from high points. We don't have a whole lot of, a high point in Mississippi is on top of a ladder in your neighbor's backyard. So,
Yeah.
we don't have what you got out there. But
Well, the one thing that I'd like to, kind of my main reason for approaching Tom is that there's so many of these modes. So many people are buying new radios. The 991. Actually, what kind of pushed me into talking to Tom was I've got a friend of mine that just became a ham. He bought a 7100 ICOM, I think it is, and he called me up and he was real excited to get the radio. And he said, "Well, this thing's got 2 meters and it's got 450, so I can use it for FM." And he goes, "I was playing around with it," and he goes, "It goes in the sideband in CW." I said, "Exactly." And there's so much activity out there. There's so many things that you can play with and experiment with, and especially if you're east of the Rockies, you've got tropo openings, you've got everything. We're going to talk meteor scatter. There's so many different things we can do, and take advantage of those radios. If you're in I see there's a little bit of discussion going on in the chat room about HOAs. The friend of mine that bought this 7100 is in an HOA. And I took some pictures of his antennas, and we'll show those on the show one time. He put up a 3-element beam for 6 meters. Never worked 6 meters before. Got on FT8. I think he's 2 states away from his WAS. And just went ahead and started spraying some camouflage on the antennas, and they're kind of mixed in with the trees. He's only a little bit over the fence level, and he's having a ball. So there's a lot of things to take advantage of out there, and there's not a lot of shows that address that. I think some people think it's a little complicated or it's confusing or you have to be an engineer. You don't. You can go out and have a lot of fun and make use of those radios and all the other things that they offer.
Well, hey, one of the things you need to realize here, for satellite work, IIS and that kind of stuff, you don't have to have a tower. You don't have to put the antenna on a roof. You can put it on a 3-foot tripod in the backyard, and it'll work just as good right there.
But I think Pat's right in that in my case, a lot of people tend to think that VHF and UHF is FM repeaters and that basis. And I moved to Memphis, probably about 20-something years ago, and I had never worked 6 meters until I got to Memphis. And the club that I hang around with, everybody was into 6 meters. And let me tell you, my first tropo experience with 6 meters was I was hooked. That's it. I'm on 6 meters. You can forget all the other bands. Six
Yeah.
meters was just, it was just awesome. And, you know, they call it the magic band, and I would call it more like the you don't know what's going to happen next band.
Well,
And-
you know, back in the early 60s, I was on 6 meters. I built a little 3-element beam, just got my license.
Well, you know, back when dirt
but we
was
were on
new,
AM. We were on AM back then.
well, dirt was new back then,
The-
so everybody
dirt
was on
was-
6 meter AM,
Dirt,
and it was
dirt was
cool.
new, but let me tell you, it was the magic band. And being a ham, actually, I was a novice and a tech at the same time. Back then, you could do that.
Yeah.
And so I was limited to CW on HF bands, but hey, I could work voice, man, on 6 meters.
Right.
And boy, you ought to see the smile, man.
That
I was
something
making
I
voice
never got to
contacts.
take advantage of.
I was
yeah.
making voice contacts on 6 meters. I talked to New York and New Jersey and all up in there, and it was pretty consistent. But I guess that was a good. We had good openings, probably. I guess does the
But-
sunspot cycle affect the 6 meters that much?
Oh, sure, but
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I know Brett in the chat room said how much gain on the 6 meter beam. Right now, I'm just running a small 3-element beam. We had, with FT8, we had a stellar year on 6 meters. Sporadic E started bubbling up, I would say, probably late April, and just until probably 2-3 weeks ago, the band kind of went quiet again. But I worked, I think, 2,100 contacts on 6 this year. I worked we had some great JA openings. Guys in your neck of the woods were working Europe. So FT8 has revitalized 6 meters without a doubt. And you don't need a lot, but it was a stellar summer. Absolutely an amazing summer on 6.
Now,
A lot of guys have migrated up to FT8, but there's still guys that are down at 5125 calling CQ.
Yeah. Now, is there also a winter, I don't want to say peak, but winter window where 6 meters tends to open up more than normal? Or is it pretty much the summer?
It's pretty much summer. But again, the other day, Saturday, the band was dead, and I let FT8 run all day and listen. And in the afternoon, I was seeing Midwest stations coming in. So it's hard to say. But then, of course, on 6, we've got meteor scatter work that we can do. And we can do EME. I'm going to give that a try this next year. I'm incorporating an elevation system into my 6-element beam for 6.
Oh, that'd be
fun. It's all there.
I'm looking forward to this. This sounds fun.
Yeah, this is going to open up a whole new thing about the show, man.
Well, you don't hear a lot of people doing things like FT8 and sideband and stuff on 50 and above. It's all, FM.
Well, yeah, and we want to get people excited in doing different things. You get a lot of the new techs that get out there and they buy them a little handy talkie and they're stuck on 2 meters or maybe 440, and that's it. But we're going to open the door and show them, hey, there's a lot above that and a lot of things you can do above there. Yeah. Hey, there's ham TV. I've even done that
Yeah,
many,
I've done
many,
a little
many
bit
years
of
ago.
ATV way
Yeah.
back when, yeah.
Yeah.
But
You think we could do ATV from your? Probably couldn't do from your house.
no,
to
I'm
here.
too far from you.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm exactly 1.5 miles too far for ground wave.
Are you?
No, there's actually a ridge between here and there because I've done some terrain mapping for the 5 gig mesh stuff, and there is a ridge about 1.5 miles east of me that blocks everything northeast out of Memphis or towards Memphis area. So I'm pretty much out of luck.
Well, this VHF's got me thinking. You know how they are putting, have you seen the advertisements on TV, the Wi-Fi network on airplanes now where people from the ground use it? They say, why put satellites up when the airplanes are already in the air? And they just, I guess
so
they're like mesh. Why don't we put some VHF stuff on airplanes?
On every airplane? Yeah, so now you're talking, plane bounce.
Yeah.
I think there's actually some people are doing that,
Well,
aren't they, Pat?
you'd be going through. I mean,
I want to say I've heard people doing microwave bounce off of planes.
there are people that do that.
Yeah.
But it's not through a repeater. It's off the wing.
No, they're off the
or
fuselage,
surface. Yeah.
Well, there's, I mean, if you're listening on 2 meter sideband especially, And even if you're using a vertical antenna, when you hear that, a lot of times when you hear that picket fencing, that's exactly what it is. It's an airliner going overhead.
Cool.
We have some beacons down south that we can hear when that happens. Down like in Fairview, Utah, about 100 miles from here, every now and then we can hear them. So a lot of cool stuff. We can talk about EME, we could talk about meteor scatter, backscatter. Tropo openings don't occur at 5,000 feet where I'm at, but in the Midwest they surely do. And there's a ton of stuff to go through and go over.
Oh, that sounds great.
All right. Well, Pat, we've opened the door now to this new segment. We just got to pull the stuff together and get people excited about it. So let's get you back in here. Probably, I'm not sure what's scheduled for next week, but in the next within the next couple weeks, let's see if we can't get this thing rolling. Okay.
Oh yeah, and what I'm going to do is I have a website. There's not much on it. I'm actually in the process of rebuilding my entire station, putting new amplifiers together and stuff like that. And I'm going to go ahead and take a lot of pictures and write a lot of articles. Put them on the website. We can even share them on your site, Tom, if you
Okay,
so like.
sure.
And let's go ahead and let's share the knowledge. Again, I'll state it again. I've been a ham for 38 years. I don't know it all by any means, but I've done a lot of experimenting, and whatever I can pass on to somebody and help somebody with, I'll be glad to do.
All right. Well, that sounds good, Pat. And put it on our Facebook group and everything. We got 8,000, 7,000 people hanging out on our Facebook group, so let's put it there too. All right. Well, Pat, welcome aboard, and we're really excited about this. Looking forward to it.
It's an honor to be here with you guys.
We're gonna move on with a couple of things here. We want to talk about ARRL.
Well, did you want to do
Parks-
shack picks
Parks-
first, or do you want me to speak, or what do
Parks
you want?
on the Air, right?
No, it's not Parks on the Air. We've been round and round.
Wait a
on
minute.
this.
Wait a minute. Let me see it.
Here we go.
Wait a
You
minute.
can't
Let me
get
think.
my
Let me.
name.
ARRL.
Read the words on the paper.
Oh, Day in the Park.
There
we
you go.
All right. Yeah. See, I've got it written down right
You
here.
had-
Day in the
he
Park.
has it written down, and he still can't read his
Yeah.
own writing.
Well, my producer's not here tonight.
No,
to
that's
help.
the problem. Oh, blame it on Kathy.
Yeah, the producer's not here.
Yeah, but
All right, so-
the brains of the operation is not here, so this is what we got left, okay?
So, hey, Pat,
What's up?
if you want to stick around, join us the rest of the show. If you want to jump in here with comments, just feel free to do it, okay?
Yeah, I'm here
Yeah.
listening.
Okay.
Jump on in.
Okay. So let's talk about ARRL,
Day in the Park. You point at the words.
Day in the Park.
Okay. One word at a time. ARRL, Day in the Park.
These
Fair-
missing.
Uh-oh.
I just have Day in Park.
Oh, well, we know all about these typos. We'll get there in a bit.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is pretty much, I guess it's pretty much a Mississippi thing, but Mississippi, every year, in one of the, one part of the state or another, a club is invited to host what they call ARRL Day in the Park. And this year, it's going to be in Northeast Mississippi and Olive Branch. And the Chickasaw Amateur Radio Clubs and the Olive Branch Amateur Radio Club have come together to present the Day in the Park. Now, Day in the Park, it's more like think of a super mini ham fest. It's a cookout. It's socializing. You're going to have stations to get on the air. Somebody was talking in the chat room of how do I know if 6 meters is going to work in my area. Go to Field Day. Come to Day in the Park. We'll have 6 meters up and see what happens. But the big thing is think of it as a place for hams to gather. Think of it as a big picnic for hams. Mm-hmm. Now we're going to have some tailgating available for people who do want to tailgate. We are going to have some awesome food. We are going to have barbecue and some burgers and just one of the
Is that for the general public that visits, or just for the?
It is for our ham guests.
The ham guests, okay.
And their families.
Okay.
The reason we have to limit this, of course, we can't sell food in the park and stuff, so it's just strictly for us. Because of the same weekend, there's going to be Oktoberfest and soccer tournaments, and so we expect a large turnout of the general public. So we're going to use this as a means to reach out to the general public as well. But think of it, it's just going to be one of those fun weekend events, and we're going to have some prizes, some door prizes to give out as well. So it's just it's going to be Saturday, October 6th at the Olive Branch City Park. If you need more information, directions, GPS coordinates, go to www.w5obm Whiskey 5 Oscar Bravo Mike .us, and all of the information you need is there. And we will, like I say, everything is free. The food is free. The door prize tickets are free. There's no cost to you guys other than your gas to show up. And hopefully we'll have enough good food and drinks and everything else for you to have fun with.
All right. And that's ARRL, Day in the Park.
Correct. He got it.
All right.
Now here's where we're going to really throw in.
Day in the Park. Day in the Park.
Day in the Park. Day in the Park. Day in the Park. Yeah, you got it. Park's going to be like?
I'm going to try to get down here. Now, if it's raining like it was last time I came down there, listen, last time I went down there to one of these things he was having there, it was field day, I think.
Yes, it was not field day, it was flood day.
Yeah. I had to stop in the road for the ducks to get by in the park. And when I got to the building type, the roof, these guys were standing on the table because the water was about 6 inches deep.
This is a pavilion in the park, and we were on about a 3-foot high hill, and we still had 4 inches of water standing on the ground inside this pavilion.
I thought it was so cool with the lightning hitting out there and you guys trying to hold the tarps down on top of the equipment. I thought that was so cool, man.
Oh, you should have been there about 2 or 3 hours earlier when the front came through.
Yeah.
Because this thing came through real quick. We should never have been out, to be honest, but
right.
It was field day. But this storm came through, and yes, we were holding tarps. We were protecting a lot of the equipment. But the most important feature was somebody grabbed all of the pizza boxes to save them.
Yeah, that would be
The
good.
pizza was far more important than anybody's radio at that point.
Look, I'm sorry I got us off on that subject.
Oh, that's
we were
okay.
talking about ARRL, Day in the Park.
Correct.
All right.
And y'all come out and get some good barbecue, some food, have some fun, get on the air with your fellow hams.
World famous barbecue.
Yeah.
World famous barbecue.
World famous barbecue. One of the Chickasaw Club members is well known for his barbecue, and he's cooking it up for us. I think he said he's getting 20 Boston butts. So we're expecting a lot of folks.
Well, I'll probably come down there for that then.
It runs from 9 to 2 on Saturday, October 6th.
What time's the food going to be ready?
Food's going to be ready probably about 10:30 and 11.
I'll be there about 10:30 or 11.
There you go.
Yeah.
But it should be a lot of fun.
All right. Hey, guys, we got shack pictures coming up. Don't go away. I saw someone asking in the chat room about shack pictures. Let me tell you something. I'm just going to give you a little sneak preview here. Everything's bigger in Texas, and we've got a Texas submission of ham shack photos tonight, so you won't want to miss this. Okay. All right, everybody stand by. We'll be back with you in about a minute. Don't go away.
Glenn,
It's time to get the transceiver that's best suited for your lifestyle. ICOM offers a variety of high-performance and innovative products. See how you can make the most out of contest season with one of these transceivers. The competitive edge you've been looking for is in the IC7851. Raise the bar and hear what others cannot hear with this flagship HF 50 MHz transceiver. It has reciprocal mixing dynamic range, crystal clear local oscillator, spectrum scope, dual receivers, and a digital voice recorder. The IC7610 is the SDR every ham wants, and just in time for contesting season. This high-performance SDR has the ability to pick out the faintest of signals even in the presence of stronger adjacent signals. The new ICOM 7610 is a direct sampling software-defined radio that will change the world's definition of an SDR transceiver. It has direct RF sampling, 110 dB RMDR, an independent dual receiver, and dual digiselect. The IC7300 has changed the way entry-level HF is designed. This high-performance, innovative HF transceiver with a compact design will far exceed your expectations. It has RF direct sampling, 15 discrete bandpass filters, a large 4.3-inch color touchscreen, real-time spectrum scope, and an SD memory card slot. Visit icomamerica.com/amateur for more information on ICOM radios. Because it's the final amplifier. Unless you put another amplifier behind it.
The final, yeah, but what happens if you run a linear? Now you've got a final driving a linear, which is really the final.
No, it's linear.
Yeah,
Your
that's what I'm
final
saying.
and
Well,
linear.
therefore, the final can't be the final by definition, right?
Well, if you call the other amp a linear, it can be.
Yeah.
Okay, hey, we're back. We're back.
Okay.
Hey guys, we got shack pictures. Now I want to tell you something. I think Glenn is going to try to rib me a little bit here.
Well, I'll let you read them if you want to.
Because I typed up all the equipment list that went with these pictures. We got so many pictures. We had more pictures submitted than we've ever had before. And I spent about an hour and a half putting names on these pictures and also putting together a description of all this stuff. So we're going to go to shack pictures, and we're going to see some shack pictures. So let's see. Let me
Are you
pull
going
up
to
a
read
shack
some of these?
picture.
You want me to read them? How
We'll
we gonna
share
do
it.
it?
We'll share it. We'll share it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Is that? Okay. Why don't you start off?
All right.
And if there's a mistake, you can read the mistake if you want to. I'll cut you off after a few.
Yeah, cut me off at there.
Yeah, so what do we got here?
This is Gregory Keys, KG4GEK from North Charleston, South Carolina. He's got his workbench on the left side. He's got his priorities in the right place.
Yeah.
Then he's got an ICOM 751A, a PC1, a Micro BitX, my kind of guy.
Yeah.
PC2 on the right is his Go kit with a VHF UHF 25 watt mobile and a 20 watt HF rig and 28 amp hour battery. So he's all set up for the income.
He's set there.
Yeah.
All right. All right, let's see. You want to go
I'll
to the next
pop you to
picture?
the next one.
Let's go to the next one.
Next one.
Oh, wait, let me do this one.
You can do
Oh,
this.
hey, the picture right before. Go back to picture before. Greg there. Greg has been checking in every Tuesday night on Roundtable Net on 7180. So you guys, you need to be checking in our net, 7180 Roundtable. Okay, let's go to the next picture.
There you go.
Hey, this is our buddy Clint Bradford, K6LCS, and I'm gonna ask you how to pronounce that.
I don't know because
Jurupa?
Jurupa, Jurupa.
Drupa Valley, California. You know, Clint's been on our show several times here, and he's discussed satellite operation. And here he is here talking to Commander Wiseman aboard the IIS, and he's using a Yaesu FT60R there. And look at that, $15 homebrew tape measure beam.
Yeah.
I got one of those I built.
Yeah, those are
Tape
easy to
measure.
build.
Yeah, you can't get much simpler than that there. And if you want to have some fun, it's fun working the International Space Station. I hope they're getting active again. When I worked it 4 or 5 years ago, I made 30 contacts with Doug Wheelock up here. That's how I met Doug and became friends with him. And man, he was hot. You know, you get an astronaut that likes ham radio.
Oh gosh,
and he's
you're
on
gonna have
all
fun.
the time, man.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Well, here, you can do the next one.
I'll do the next one?
All right, you can do the next. Who's that?
This is Ray Finney, N5RWF from Fort Cobb, Oklahoma. He's got an ICOM 7300 that he bought from HRO during the Dayton Special. Go Katie. Antenna is an Ultramax 10-40 end-fed 66-foot antenna up about 30 feet. It's got a Heil PR10 mic. Kent Key, and an MFJ 4230 power supply, and an MFJ 939 tuner.
Yeah, you got a tumor.
Well, that's what you've got typed here. I think
an
it's,
MFJ 939 tumor. I'm gonna have to talk to Martin.
talk
about
to Martin
that.
about that, but
yeah.
actually the 939 is a nice tuner. I
Yeah.
really like that. You gonna do
Well,
the next one?
I have to correct myself earlier. Teresa corrected me. It's the ISS, not the IIS.
I let that slide.
Did
Say
you
that
let
was
it?
going to be nice.
Okay. Who we got next?
This is John Lawyer.
Oh,
You wanna
John.
do it?
Yeah, John Lawyer, W2DFC, Schenectady. How you say that?
Schenectady.
Schenectady, New York. Hey, FTDX3000. That's a nice radio.
That's a nice rig.
Yeah. And let's see, a high LPR 781 mic, a Meritron, That's not right. I got an AKS 1306. That's not right, is it?
I'm not familiar with the American.
Isn't that, isn't
Ameritron
that
model
supposed to be an ALS?
ALS
That's probably an
1306,
ALS.
probably
That's
an
another
ALS.
typo. Okay.
Another typo.
And now he's got an MFJ 998 tuner.
Yeah.
Okay, he's got the tuner. He's using the Yaesu G450 rotor, and he's got him a hex beam there. And he's got an FTM 100DR for VHF, UHF, and C4 FM. I've never worked C4 FM, but
I haven't either.
I've got some radios that will do it.
Yeah.
And this station can be controlled remotely.
Nice.
And look at that. I like the colors, man.
That's nice
I
monitor
like
setup.
it there. Oh, wait, he's got a second picture of his hex beam, I think.
Okay.
There's
you
a
go. Oh, that's
picture of his
pretty.
hex beam up there. Nice sunset behind it, looking good.
Very nice.
All right.
And this is Mike Tabb, KK4LYN, from Stephenville, MY.
Stephenville, what?
You've got it
Uh-oh.
as Stevensville, MY.
What is it?
It's Montana. If you look at the screen, it's MT.
Well, okay.
So I'm trying to figure where in the world is MY. But he's got a Yaesu 920 and an 857D, an 890A, and a 2800. Yep, Mike likes Yaesu. My kind of guy.
All right. All right. And you know what? He sent me a picture in without him in the ham station, but I found one of him sitting in the ham station. So
That's better.
we gave it a little extra tonight.
There you go.
All right. I'm just wondering, this is kind of like Russian roulette here. You know,
Yes.
we're kind of alternating back and forth. I want to see who gets the Texas
Who gets the,
picture.
yeah, who gets that one?
I want
Yeah.
to see who gets the Texas one. Okay. This is a James Mack, KG5 LTL.
There you go. You got one.
Livingston, Texas. You know, this is his shack in his motorhome.
Ah, good.
And this position here, this is at the driver's seat. He's got a table over the steering wheel and the dash. I hope you didn't try to drive with that there. It's an Icon 7300, and he's got a fan dipole wire antenna that he puts up about 15 feet out there, and he's got a QYT 7900 dual bander.
Now, see, I know a guy that actually works CW from his hip while he's driving down the road.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
not gonna be me, but don't CW and drive.
Yeah.
Something like
now,
that.
You ought to like this one.
I'm gonna like this one. Oh yeah, Jordan Hayburn, MI6 JVC from Northern Ireland. He's got a TS450S. That's gonna be Kenwood, and a Signal Link USB interface and a Western HF10 dipole. And he definitely has the extra power working with the cat on top of the rig. He's got cat control on that.
Oh,
thing.
yeah, he does have cat control. Okay. This would be James Hessler, K8JH, Rockford. That's Minnesota, I guess.
Michigan.
Oh, that's Michigan, that's right. MN is Minnesota.
MN is Minnesota.
Boy, I'll tell you. Everybody needs one of these things. Look at that.
Oh
A
gosh,
repurposed TV news van.
that's the only
Yeah.
way to go.
He's operating Rover right there for one of the recent VHF contests.
Oh, gosh, yeah.
Isn't that cool there?
Pat, that's something you'd probably be into there.
Man, that is so cool, man. Do you see that, Pat?
Yeah, it is nice. Yeah, it's really nice. I have to throw all my stuff in the back of the truck and then set it up. And I've done a lot of mountaintop in here, but that would be really fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think those are pneumatic. I think, and you just pop the mast straight up.
Yep.
So
All right, wait, let's see what we got here. Hold on. Okay, I'm going to do the next one.
oh, you're gonna do the next
I'm
one?
going to do the next one, yeah.
Okay.
All right, so Greg Lathrop, KA4GUM.
Oh, yeah.
Ellenwood, Georgia. And here he's got a KX1 and a little mini straight key. And it says here, and I know you want to make a comment about this, he's running 3 watts to a buddy stick on Hilton Head Island.
Right.
Now he's in Ellenwood,
Ellenwood,
Georgia. And he's running 3 watts to a buddy stick in Hilton Head Island.
Yeah, that is one long piece of coax.
Next one. The next one happens to be Texas.
Grammar is everything.
Yeah.
This is Mike Watts, Whiskey Yankee 6 Kilo from Parker, Texas. This is his secondary station. Oh, Mike. He just swivels his chair to the right, and then he is facing all this wonderful vintage equipment.
Oh, man.
There's an SX115, an HT32, of course the traditional D104 mic,
I don't miss anything.
the Hallicrafters HQ170. Top shelf, he's got a Henry 2002 2-meter amp that puts out about 2K.
Oh, that'd be good for
And,
moon bounce.
that is-
2,000 watt.
That is some sweet vintage gear right there.
Yeah. I think you're going to have to do the next one, too.
I'm going to have to do the next one.
Yeah.
Well, then, oh, that's the rest of his stuff.
Yeah,
Good
that's the rest
heavens.
of it.
That is.
Okay, well, go ahead. Next.
There's. Oh.
Okay, no, you just read. No, go back.
Oh, there. Go back. Okay.
Go back.
No, that still
No,
says
go back.
Michael
Go back.
Watts. Oh, he's gonna make me go back.
You got to read it.
This is his leftmost shack. There's some audio equipment. There's an SDR-IQ software-defined receiver, an ICOM IC756 Pro, a Collins 51S, and the Alpha 87A amplifier.
Now, did you miss anything?
Oh, I'm sure I did.
Yeah.
I mean,
Let's go next
well,
picture.
there's an HW101 at the
I
top
see
up
that.
there.
I had one of those.
I did too, and there's a bird watt meter up there.
Yep.
You know, and then yeah, the Collins gear.
Nice,
He's
and
got-
all they're
he's
nice
got a-
too.
What is this?
Two
up
beautiful
here with the
receivers
hand?
up there. Those
We've already been
Raycos.
through that
I
one.
think that's test equipment.
Okay.
No, those are Raycos.
Those
I
are the
got 4
radios.
of them sitting here.
Ah,
All
okay.
right, next picture.
I got a soft spot for those. They're unbelievable radios.
What are they?
HF receivers, they're
Go to the next
military
picture.
receivers.
Okay.
There you go.
And here's the next pic. This is his novice station. My God, wouldn't you have loved to have a station like that when you were a novice?
Yeah.
Wow. He's got a Hammerland HQ110 receiver, a Globe Chief Deluxe 90-watt transmitter, a Night VFO, and a Hallicrafters electronic keyer. Above all this, there's a Collins 30L1 amp and an ICOM 740 and a Kenwood R600. On the right side, there's a Collins 30S1 and an R390A.
I love
Now,
that 30S1, boy.
Yeah, and-
I'd love to have one of those.
Looks like we got some more good Heathkit stuff right here. I don't really
Yeah.
recognize it.
Yeah.
But you know, between you, me, and Martin,
Yeah.
we can go raid this place and we would be set for life on here.
That's right.
I mean, this is awesome.
That's right. I don't think you're through yet.
I don't think I'm through yet. Oh my word.
This is still Michael Watts.
Yeah.
No, you
I got it.
you do
Okay.
Michael.
You're going to wear me out.
Yeah.
This is his overflow area of radios he's working on. There's a Heathkit SW717, and on top you can see a great vintage of the Night radio, the Night Span Master. I don't even know that one. And then there's some nice KWM2s there. That is some awesome stuff. And there's his test benches. Heathkit signal generators on the top, 2 Tektronix 2465 scopes, and an HP 8555 spectrum analyzer. He's got it all. He can, oh, that's nice.
You reckon he's retired?
And did you know what? Michael is in the chat room. He's chatting with us right now.
Okay, Mike, when are you going to be out of town next?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we're going to need to make a road trip. This is his work area. Oh, man.
That kind of looks a little like your.
Looks a little bit like mine. He's got a little bit of everything over there.
Yes,
Yeah.
it
We've
does.
got a little bit of everything. And then this is the back side of the shelves. Some Collins power supplies and 4 large Variacs. So, man, he's got it all there.
All right.
Now, Mike, you have got one heck of a gorgeous station there, man.
And I'm out of breath, and you did it, man.
Yeah. Oh, that's just sweet.
Oh, man. Paul Brom, WD9GCO, Valparaiso, Indiana.
Valparaiso.
Valparaiso.
Valparaiso. How do you say that? Is that a Paraiso?
Valparaiso.
Okay.
Valparaiso.
This picture was taken a couple years ago, and he's made some additions there to his shack. But you can see Paul's TS520S there. He bought that new in 1978, I think. And he still uses it and loves it. He's got a TS820. He's got a Kenwood SM220 station monitor, the AT200 antenna tuner, the Kenwood phone patch, the Kenwood SP520 speaker. I had almost an identical setup of that, and I actually broke down and sold it
That
here.
was the one you sold just like last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, I just sold it to somebody in Kansas City, and it almost made me cry.
Yeah.
But it takes so much space on my desk over here, I couldn't put any other radios on there.
You've got to
you know?
let them go sometimes
Yeah.
so you can get new stuff.
He's also got an IC2100 there and a Kenwood TMV7A and a little bit of everything else there.
That's nice. Okay. Next up is David Sweat, Alpha Echo 4 Oscar Foxtrot, Blackshear, Georgia. He's got a Yaesu FT450, a 6-meter amp. I wonder if he works 6.
Put it down in the shelves.
Now, this is like, Martin's got some shelves
Yeah,
like this.
Martin's got a lot of shelves
Yeah.
like that. He's got an MFJ 962 tuner, an ICOM 820H, the Mirage 2516 amp, an ICOM 706 Mark II, and a Signal Link probably the Signal Link USB for digital modes. And I love the way those shells bend. And
Where are we at?
let me do this
Oh,
one.
you want to do that one? Okay.
This one.
All right.
This is Jason Barker, M0S00
No, not
from
00, not 00.
I did it again, didn't I?
Yeah, see?
And I swore I wasn't going to do
I
it.
know it. That's like Parks in the...
Parks in the Day.
Yeah.
Yeah. M0SOO, Jason Barker from England. This is in his converted garden shed. Absolutely gorgeous looking shack. He's got an FT DX3000, an FT950, all these are Yaesus, an FT897D, an FT107, and an FT101. And yeah, he's a Yaesu man. If this is what they can grow in a garden shed in England, I'm all in. I'm going to England right now.
Kind of reminds me of Star Trek, man.
Yeah, that's
But he's
but
got,
that
he's
blue.
got another picture there in his
got
shed.
another one?
Yeah, look.
Oh, that's right.
This is in his garden shed. My garden shed doesn't look as good.
But this is his electronics hobby room.
Oh, yeah.
So he must be a Harry Potter fan as well.
He might be.
So that's part of his ham shack.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's
Cool.
That's nice.
All right. All right.
Now you got the next one.
All right, let's see where we are here. Okay. This is Thomas Wright, AC8JT, East Liverpool, Ohio. Yaesu FT950, a Meritron 8. That's not right. Another typo
You're not
here.
going to let me see the typo.
He's got an AK811, and that sounds dangerous, doesn't it? He's got an
Yeah,
AL.
that's-
He's got an Meritron AL811.
I hope he's got a license for it.
Yeah. Two. Boy, did I really type?
You really
Two a Lynch.
That's going to be an
Two
Alinco.
Alinco DX SR8Ts, an FT897D, an IC7200, FT891, FTM 400, XD, a Yaesu FT7900, a FTM 100, a FT70D. Have I got them all? No.
No, you missed
an
one.
FT60. And I don't know how that Kenwood got in there. He's got a Kenwood TM.
I got one of those at my car. I like it.
71. LDG auto tuners, Bencher keys, Tentec speech processor, Signal Links, and Daiwa CN801 watt meter.
Man, he's crammed a whole bunch of stuff in that little
He's
space.
got it crammed in there.
I've got an AC60.
Yeah.
I've got one thing in all of that shed. I got one of those.
Okay, this is Dennis Steele, K6 KRV from Palm Desert, California. Didn't give us any equipment description, but let's see what we got. We've got a Kenwook HF transceiver there.
The Wookiees.
That's only for Wookiees, I'm guessing, but that's going to be a Kenwood. And then the Ameritron amp, the far left, I see some Heathkit gear. Yeah, that looks like a what, a DX60?
I don't know.
I think that's a DX60 over there.
What's that on the top shelf on the right over there? Looks like some of the old DX40s or something.
Might be, yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I see a VFO. That's a
VFO.
That's a
Heathkit
Heathkit
VFO,
VFO
your
below
bird
the
watt
next
meter.
shelf. Yeah. That looks like maybe a DX40 there. You got the mouse over, and
Could
maybe
be.
a VFO to the left of it there.
Could be.
Wow.
So, yeah,
Cool.
nice shack there.
Yeah.
And then next up, we'll let you do.
Oh,
we'll let
okay.
you do.
Everybody knows Don WA4YL. Don gave me a hat at Huntsville. It was the Space Center hat.
Oh,
Because
okay.
we didn't, Kathy and I didn't get to go, and she was so nice. She got me a hat and brought it to me there at Huntsville. Thank you, Don, for the hat there. But here she is in Hudson, Florida, FT991, and she's got an Astron 35 amp power supply, the Heil Pro, I guess that's mic in headset, and there's a Ziggy up there.
Yeah, I see Ziggy. It's almost like a Where's Waldo event here. All right, and this one is Richard Kendrick, N7NT from Mesa, Arizona. Again, he didn't send any info about the equipment. Come on, guys. If you're going to send us a picture and you're going to have Tom try to read this, okay, he's going to guess about all this stuff and it's going to be wrong. So send him a description so we can at least get it right. You know, if I read it, you know, you're going to be out of luck anyway, so it kind of doesn't matter. But he's got a nice little station there. Trying to see,
That looks like an Elecraft an SP1E, and he's got the pan adapter.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I would agree with that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he's got something here on the right. Almost looks like a,
So 430.
Kenwood.
yeah,
430? 430
Yeah.
maybe.
yeah, probably 430. Yeah. But this was taken during the June 2017
It's got a rotator.
ARRL VHF contest.
There's a controller for a rotator.
Yeah.
It's got some
Yeah.
nice antennas going on
Yeah.
somewhere.
But if he's in the VHF contest, he's going to have a nice stack up there. And then we've got Richard Abramson, November Papa 3 Kilo from Jacksonville, Florida. He's got an FT950. Go Richard. Palstar tuner, an AL80B amp, and he's got a flagpole antenna. That's how you beat the HOAs. You put that flagpole antenna out there.
Oh, yeah.
But
You know, people were asking about antennas. I have a confession to make for WK6Y. Is it Mike? Is that it's called? WY6K.
okay.
Mike also sent some pictures of his antennas in, but since he had pictures of 800 different radios, we elected to take the antennas out this time. But we'll show
Yeah,
his
we're gonna
antennas.
need,
We'll show
you need to start a new segment of
antennas.
antenna farms.
Yeah.
I think you'd be amazed to see some of the antenna farms people have up
We
there.
will do a one on antenna farm soon.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, here's our buddy Russ Bickle KG0BK. Now, you guys know I've ribbed Russ a lot of times on the show here because he has done a few things in the past, which we probably all have, that
No, I won't
might
admit
have
to
not
nothing.
been just perfect with the, I won't say who.
Statute of limitations has run out on
Probably,
everything I've done.
probably so. But you know what? He's been in radio all these years, and he's survived and never got locked up. And look, he's legal. And hey, I think he's an engineer at a bunch of radio stations. Man, here he is. Here's our friend Russ. You can find him in the show every Tuesday night. I'm sure he's in a chat room right now. He's got a neat organization here of his equipment. He's got an adjustable bench power supply, SWR watt meter, and he's got a micro BITX there. I love the micro BITX.
Yeah.
He's got a Yaesu 450D, and on top of there's a homebrew differential amplifier. Somewhere there's a differential amp. He's got Wires X and a Yaesu FT3200DR.
Nice.
It's got W5KUB on this.
And look at that, and he gets extra points.
Extra points for having W5KUB up on the screen.
He gets extra. In fact, I noticed that. I was going to probably tell people when they send Shaq pictures in to try to get us on the screen. But I tell you what, Russ, you get extra points tonight for doing that.
Yeah, you get bonus points, and you're in the head. You're at the top of the point scale for right now. You know, we'll send you a couple dimes. You can get a cup of coffee or something. And this is James. Oh, you would do this to me, James Geschwindner, November 1, Papa Zulu Papa. Forgive me, James, if I got it wrong. He's from Pennacock, New Hampshire. He's got a Kenwood TS120 and a Linko DR451. The Radio Shack DX300, a bunch of scanners, a DMR HF-HT, a Baofeng 2-meter 440 HT, and a couple of older 6-meter AM rigs. Hey, here we were talking about 6-meter AM earlier tonight.
Yep.
So he's...
And you know what? It doesn't take much antenna to get on 6 meters, guys.
No,
Don't let that
no.
bother you if you don't have a 6-meter antenna. Man, you can put a little 6-meter loop outside, a little vertical. It don't take much to work people on 6 meters.
No,
when that
I've got
band's
the
open.
MFJ 3-element
Yeah.
6-meter beam, and I mean, the
Yep.
footprint thing on that thing is small. You know, it's real easy to do.
All right, so this was sent in by Mariano Goncalves, and this is from Portugal. This is not really a shack picture, but this is CS5 OAO, and it's the Aerospace Observatory Association.
All right, now you
AMSAT.
say CS5 OAO, the screen says CS5 PSC, so somebody's made a serious typo. But
Well, you know, I'm not sure where the mistake was.
it's the AMSAT CT Aerospace Observatory Association, so that is a ham shack there, my
Yep,
friend.
yep. And let's go to the next picture. He sent us about 3 pictures.
Okay.
And that's showing their, well, I guess more
More of the satellite
operating
gear, the
more-
tracking.
Yeah. And then let's go to the next picture. I think we're going to see some of the guys there
oh my
operating.
gosh,
looks
yeah.
like looks like some of the youth there operating.
Excellent.
All right. I'll let you have Texas back.
I'll have Texas back. This is Jim Wilson, K5ND Rover in Grapevine, Texas. He's got an IC 9100 and Yagis for 2 meter and 70 centimeters, and a Moson for 6 meters. And that's what we're talking about. Those 6 meter beams are just not that big, and he's got that Moson loop antenna there. I think that's the first one up the stack. But the antenna's bigger than the car.
That's cool. Yeah. Looks like he has to put a
He's
chair
got-
outside though.
Yeah, he's got to do it through the hatchback to get the rigs.
Yeah. He's got
Yeah.
2 pictures there, so yeah.
James,
Okay.
one word of advice: SUV.
Yeah.
Anyway,
All right. Hey, Steve Jobs here. Now that's
No,
isn't it-
Jobs.
Oh, Jobs.
No.
I thought maybe that's the guy that invented
Apples?
Apple.
No,
Yeah.
no.
What was his name?
Steve Jobs.
Okay. So is this Steve Jobs here?
This is Steve Jobs.
Okay. Steve Jobs, W1DXH, Northborough, Massachusetts. Aircraft K3P3, an Alpha 9500 amp.
9500.
Yeah, 95. It looks like a nice amp.
Yeah, it is.
Tentec Paragon 2 with matching power supply. He's got him a Viking antenna tuner up there.
Mm-hmm.
You got a homebrew antenna and a rig switch box. And he's got a Johnson KW matching box there.
Nice.
Yeah, I think we got one more.
One more.
You want to do it?
You want me to do it?
Yeah, you can do it.
This is Roger Barkley, Whiskey 6 Lima Alpha X-Ray from Northridge, California. He's got an Aircraft K3, an Alpha 8410, and a 3-element step IR beam, and that is, yeah, I want a step IR. Tom, I know what you can get me for Christmas.
Why don't we just make one?
No, I know what you can get me for Christmas.
What, a step iron?
Step IR, yeah.
Okay.
And a house to put it at, because I got too much metal in the roof at my place. There's no
Well,
place to put it.
All right.
So,
Well, look, hey, we had a lot of shack. We had more
a
shack
lot
pictures.
that's the most I've seen.
And these were all posted at one time, too. It really surprised me that we had so many. Now,
Yeah.
Pat, I didn't see any pictures that you sent in. You didn't send your shack picture in.
No, I'd scare the heck out of it. Mine's a disaster.
Yeah?
That's what mine was last year, and I had to completely rebuild the whole shack.
Well, lean over and they can see my shack in the background. There you go. There's my shack in the background, right there.
That's clean. That's nice and clean.
Well, it was made for the picture. That's
Trust me, he only does that when he does it for the show.
yeah. Okay. Well, hey, that was a lot of fun, man.
That was some good stuff.
That
A
was
lot
a
of
lot
good
of-
shack
a lot
pictures.
of
You
fun.
some of you guys just have equipment that I'm just drooling over, and like I say, if you leave your door unlocked, it's coming home.
Wow.
I think a lot
somebody-
of guys, though, at least like me, I don't get rid of anything. I have good intentions on it, but I don't get rid of anything. I keep it all.
Yeah.
Well, the rule of thumb for people like us is we usually get rid of it 1 week before we need it.
Yeah, that's true. That's
I'm
true.
a master at doing that.
Hey guys, for 5 minutes, I'm opening the phone lines for 5 minutes. We're going to get out of here in just a few minutes. But hey, 901-286-1116. If you want to call into the show and say hi to Glenn or Pat or me, just dial the phone number and we will, you can close that out. There you go.
Yep.
And we will love to hear from you. 901-286-1116. Boy, it'd be cool if WY6K Glenn, not Glenn. What's his name?
Mike?
Mike from Texas called in, right?
See, he can't.
He probably doesn't have room for a phone.
Read, he can't remember names. This is what this man is without Kathy and Katie.
Oh, man.
Please,
I need my...
next week
producer.
we need Kathy. We need Katie. This man needs all the help he can get.
That's true. All right, well, he probably didn't have room for a...
Well, they called me the producer.
Yeah,
today.
you're
you're
the
the
producer
producer.
tonight.
All I'm doing is sitting at a laptop.
Yeah, for all of you that don't know, we've got Terry Bloom here. AC5YL is playing our producer in the role of Kathy tonight. And unfortunately, she's let Tom get off the leash way too many
That's
times.
right. That's right. And it's ARRL Day in the Park.
Day in the Park.
I got it.
Saturday, October 6th.
901-286-1116. You guys call us. Phone line's going to be open for about 4 more minutes. Give us a call.
Yeah. And Jeff, N3VE, Your biggest concern is if your wife sells all of that gear for what you told her you paid for it.
Well, all that's not sell. All that's not going to get sold. 'Cause I'm listing his will for the Flex. So.
Oh man.
And I saw you were updating it tonight. Just make sure it's working really good with any updates because.
Did you see that new Flex they've got? What is it? The 6500, I think.
Yeah.
The one with the control panel and the whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
That's a sweet looking radio.
So put a mic on Terry. Well, here, Terry. Here's your microphone. If you want to talk with Terry, you don't want to talk.
No.
She doesn't want to talk.
Now, what you done?
Back here.
Terry is a behind the scenes
Yes.
kind of person,
Yes.
and
I'm surprised nobody has dialed the phone number.
they know I'm here. They
and,
we have
and
scared
Russ,
them off.
Russ always calls every Tuesday night just to say hello.
But we have scared them off with me being here. It's kind of like a
Yeah.
Doberman in the front yard.
Yeah.
You know, they have to check and see if if I'm on my medication.
There you
or
go.
not.
You see,
Yeah.
you see
Yeah, see,
Jeff?
Tom gets the
I get
Flex.
the Flex. That's right, man. 901-286-1116. Come on, guys. Don't be shy out there.
Nope, nobody wants to.
I guess nobody's going to want to call in, so.
Yeah. Arnie, you're just going to have to come and find out. And I can assure you that if you do come today in the park, you will meet Terry. Because you don't get in unless you meet Terry.
Oh, we got a phone call. Answer that. Just hit the little answer button right there.
Right there?
Yeah, that's right there. Hello, who's on the phone?
Hi, Tom. This is Jeff, KC9TEW.
KC9
TEW from
T-
Indiana.
TEW.
Tango Echo Whiskey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to write it down. TEW. Yeah, how you doing, man? Hey,
I'm doing good.
were you on the net today?
I sure was. We had.
Let me look.
something
I
so
think
could
we
cut it
worked.
short.
I think we talked.
Yeah. Yeah. I just wanted to call and say hello. I never called in on the live phone before.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, second line down.
Look at there. Yeah, oh, that's right. He was the second person to check in. You had a
There
pretty
you
good
go.
signal too.
Oh, thanks. So did you, Tom. You did real good out here.
Well, that's
I don't
good,
know
man.
what all the goofy noise was on the band, but
Man,
it must have been atmospheric of some sort.
I have no idea, but it was causing me some major problems here.
Well, we
Yeah,
just had
me
all that
too,
rain come
so.
through.
Yeah. Well, all right. Well, hey, let's just remind everybody we need to get everybody together Tuesdays from 5:30 to 7 p.m. Central Time. We try to hit 7180. If there's something going on there, we'll try to move up a few kilocycles or kilohertz.
No,
not-
kilohertz. They
kilohertz.
changed it from kilocycles back when dirt became old.
Yeah, well, I got my license back when it was dirt.
No, I know it. So me too,
Yeah.
man. I
Yeah.
still say KC.
Yeah.
There you go. Yep.
I wonder if we can't get them to change
right.
that back. For us old timers.
Yeah. Well, they always have to
Looks-
change it to these new terms
Looks
that
like
we don't know.
WI6K is trying to call in, but he can't get through.
Who's trying to call?
Mike.
Mike is trying to call? Okay, yeah, we got a phone. Okay,
You
hey,
go
we're going to let
talk
you
to
go.
Mike.
We'll talk to you later.
Okay,
kick,
bye-bye.
kick the next one.
Just kick the next one.
Yeah, just hit the
There we
next
go.
one. Hello?
Hello,
Hello? Who's on the phone?
this is Tom, W5WTA in Austin, Texas.
W5
Whiskey
WTA.
Tango
Tom. Hey, Tom, how you doing? Did someone say?
Okay.
Well, cool, man. Now,
Just wanted to call in. I've watched your show many times. I did call in, years ago, a year or two ago.
yeah.
I got some good information about matching up a G5 RV Junior. But this is just a suggestion. Maybe one of your future shows, you could get somebody in there to do a little summary of different coax types and what's good, what's bad. Especially for people like me that have been in ham radio a long time. But now we get back on in a year or two ago, and now there's LMR 400. There's this, there's that.
Yeah.
And it'd be nice to have somebody do a little, summary of what's there and what you should use, for
Yeah.
general use. I mean, not all this fancy stuff, the underground stuff and all that, but the usual ham radio applications.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing, and I would love to hear about RG8X. There's so many different variables that RG8X. People say, how much power can it handle? And it depends on who makes it.
Exactly.
Oh man, it's
And
just
I've got some of that Messi and Paoli ARRL cable that MFJ is selling now?
The messy, yeah.
That messy cable, I love that stuff.
I've
It's
got.
really well
They
built.
sent me 200-foot runs. I just put it on my satellite right here.
No, they sent you 200-foot runs?
Yeah, the guy in Italy did.
I'm going home with
The guy-
200-foot runs.
Well, I tell you what, it took me 8 hours to work it through the attic.
Now I know it.
You're not going to get it out.
No, it's not. Pat, that might be something you might want to look into because at VHF the coax is far more critical
Sure. Yeah, we can
to cover
we
the
can throw
various
that
types. Because at HF you can still use RG58 and get away with it. Yeah.
But you know what? I've run on that RG8X. I've run 800 watts without any problems, and I'm hearing more and more people, say they've done that without issues. But I think that's right on the edge. That's right on the edge.
Well, I've
back
got.
to your top.
You know how they always say, people run amplifiers. I generally don't run an amp. The only amplifier I own is 4 2-meter sideband, and I prefer to make it up in antenna and coax.
Yeah.
If you put an amp in, every doubling of power is only 3 dB. If you put in LMR 400 over RG58 or RG8X, you're gonna save you that much dB. Put in a better antenna, put an extra element up. But I found that I can make more up with that LMR 400 coax than I could with any kind of amplifier.
Well, Tom, that's a good idea. We'll try to do something like that soon.
Yeah, and just to amplify what you said, you can do all kinds of things on 6 meters. I've done a lot of 6 meters, but right now I'm more limited with the HOA. I've just got a Squalo up there with RG8X, and it's not very high, but when the band opens, I've got QSL cards here from North Dakota, all over the place from Austin, Texas. So, if you just want to have some fun and get into it, you can move into it and then later get your, 10-element beam if you want to.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I've seen a lot of people hang 6-meter loops inside their attic.
Yeah.
And get on the air that way. So.
Okay, thanks, guys.
All right, man.
Thanks for your show.
Thanks, Tom, and we'll see you. See you next week, man.
Okay.
You want to grab that next caller?
Here's our next one.
Yeah. All right, who's on the phone?
Hi, this is Mike.
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 Is this Mike, the Texas Mike?
This is Texas Mike. Yeah, he's the one with all that cool stuff.
Wow. Well, Mike.
Yeah, WY6K.
Yeah. My mind is blown looking at all that. I don't have any questions.
I do.
Okay.
Did you refurbish all of that stuff yourself, or did you get it that way?
Some of both. I did a lot of it. I did some of it myself, but then I started letting other people do it. Like the 75A4s were completely powered mills, W3HM I think this is called, and he's just a magician with that stuff. And when he gets done with something that looks like it was made last week.
Yeah, they are all gorgeous, gorgeous. Yeah, I've got an HW8 and an HW16, but I'm not really refurbishing them. A true Heathkit lover is probably going to hunt me down and beat me until I can't move anymore. We are converting my HW8 to run an Arduino or be run by an Arduino. So
You're kidding.
Yeah, I'm going to.
Isn't that against the law or something?
I'm sure it is, but I will assure you that I am doing the absolute minimum cuts to the case. I'm trying to retain all of the original controls. In fact, the dial assembly and the planetary gears are being retained. I'm just pulling the cap off and replacing it with a potentiometer behind there. So I am trying to maintain the original look, but it needs a
it'll look the same.
It needs a 3-inch TFT display. It just screams. And same with the HW16. That was my first rig. And
yeah, well, they came with 3-inch TFT screens back then, right?
yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah. Only if you got the Martian version. Yeah, that was the Martian export. And yes, the Arduino guy does have a ham ticket. I am Kilo Whiskey 5 Golf Papa. I've written several books for ARRL on the Arduino. We will not discuss. I have a free pass to do this sacrilege on the Heathkit rigs. because you know it's one of those. It's a horrible feeling because I love Heathkit. I'm very passionate about Heathkit, but at the same time, it's like, what would a Heathkit look like if you brought it into the 21st century? And so
Yeah,
that's
it's an interesting question.
that's the viewpoint
And-
that I'm approaching it with, and I'm trying to keep it, keep it true to the Heathkit heritage, but have some fun with it. And I'm trying to do it as
Right.
nicely as I can.
Yeah.
So-
No, and I wouldn't try to talk you out of it on Heathkits. If you started talking about doing it on the S line, then
Yeah.
I'd have to twist your arm.
No,
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
Collins is, no. That is
Oh,
no,
yeah.
no. That's
I couldn't let that happen.
that is burn you at the stake level stuff.
Yeah.
No, you cannot do
agree.
that to that Collins gear. That is, same with the old Drake TR4 and TR3, the twins and that.
Some
line.
things you just don't touch.
Some things you just don't touch.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah,
Even the dead
Drake guys
capacitors.
are-
You take out in the
just
backyard
passed
and bury
over to
them.
The Collins guys, I think.
Yeah. So, but yeah, any of those older rigs, any parts that come off, you actually have to take them out back in the backyard and give them their own little service and stuff. You just can't.
Well, Mike, sorry, Mike, we didn't show your antenna pictures tonight, but we'll get those another show.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine.
We'll get them another show there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great. Seeing everybody's antennas would be.
Yeah, I thought about
just
that
as
a
interesting
while
as their
back.
shack.
I think, seeing some of these antennas and what we get away with.
Yeah.
Back when I was young and first had my novice ticket, I was taking an old MFJ tuner, is the original Versa Tuner 2, I think it was, and I was loading the rain gutter outside my apartment. And I had me a nice little vertical.
Yeah.
Or, depending on the mood I was in, I would take a fishing weight and a length of 30 gauge wire wrap wire and sling it
Right.
through the pine tree in my backyard. And since it was
But
30
see,
gauge, nobody could see
you
it.
telegraphed that you're a young guy.
I
Because
was
when
back
I was
then.
a novice, they didn't have wire wrap.
Yeah.
Oh man.
All right, that was 1975. I will
And
let
they
you
didn't have
do the math.
MFJ either.
All right.
Well,
I-
let me tell you were lucky. You had MFJ. It hadn't even been invented when I got my license.
Yeah, it was brand new stuff.
Yeah, me too.
And
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, I
How long
was
have you been a ham?
me. Let's see, how old am I?
You don't have to give me your age, but
I've been a ham for 45 years,
yeah.
and
Okay.
this was when I was 18, 19 back in 1975, 1976 when I lived in West Palm Beach, and I was doing. I was one of those strange people, I guess you call them, prodigies. At age 19, I was working on site at a military turbojet research facility with data acquisition. So I did that for 7 years down there in West Palm.
Cool.
So
Yeah, I think geek is the word you were looking for.
So
what did he say?
Geek.
Geek
Gig,
doesn't
yeah.
even come close.
Yeah.
So Tom, I've had my license 54 years. I got it back in '64. You sound like an old timer. When did you get yours?
I got mine in 58.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm 71, so that makes it 60 years on.
You got it young.
Yeah.
You got it young because
Yeah. That's what
Yeah,
I was
11 when I
lucky.
got my license.
Some of the folks in my
Novice.
yeah, the novice was tough back then. We had to go to the FCC. No, not the FCC. That
we
was
went to the
for the general.
FCC. No.
No, I didn't have to
Field
take
Yeah.
it.
learners.
For what?
But I
Yeah,
was
they didn't have
lucky.
volunteer examiners back then.
Yeah, I think for me, I had several friends that were already hams, and we were all teenagers, and they got me into it, and I have never looked back since. This has been a lot of fun. And,
Yeah,
I mean,
it's.
if you,
I've been in and out of the hobby based on other things that are going on in my life, but I never considered that I was not a ham. I just wasn't
Yeah.
active for
No.
a
Well,
while.
that's the way I am.
and if you get bored, there's always something else to play with. There's just so much new stuff in so many areas.
There is. It's
So-
endless. You can go any direction you want.
Yeah, exactly. And somebody asked in the chat room about Arduinoing a DX40. I don't see why not. You know, just use a DDS in place of the local oscillator, and boom, you're done.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, that shouldn't be hard at all. But yeah, we didn't have MFJ back then. You know, everything we had was tube driven, and we had TVI. That was my problem in the apartment when you loaded that rain gutter. I didn't have a good ground, so I was just trying to match the tuner to the rig. I had TVI all over the place, so I had to wait until the wee hours of the morning when everybody else was asleep to try to get on the air.
Well, 6 meters was real bad for TVI because channel 2,
5.
Well, I think channel 2 was real close to 6 meters.
Oh, that's right there.
Very close.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to run one of those. I had a Ray Track. It was like a copy of the L4B for 6 in the old days, and wow, you'd get people knocking on the door at night sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, one of the greatest things that happened for us is TV went digital.
Yeah, and when
TVI is just about a thing of the past, I think.
well, once everybody got on cable and it's supposed to be a closed system, that really helped.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Yep.
put them a lot of signal there. See, where I grew up, we were 60 miles away from the TV station, so the signals were weak to start with.
Yeah.
And if you put a ham signal on that neighborhood, you know, it's all.
Well, see, now they've gone to
Yeah.
the digital stuff, and they've moved off of that band
Oh,
almost
yeah.
entirely.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's over with.
But if you live in an old
In the
neighborhood
last
like
20,
I do,
in the last 20 years, I think I've had more trouble with telephones and stereos than with TVs.
yeah, just gonna say that.
Yeah. Well, they're
Pat, what were
probably.
you saying if you live in the area where you are?
Well, I live in all the houses here were built in the 50s, and we've got a lot of retirees, and every now, there's still a few of them, believe it or not, using those 49 megahertz
Yeah.
cordless phones.
Cordless
Oh,
phone,
Lord.
yeah.
And, yeah, or if you've got like Mike said, if you've got a big stereo system and got cheap cable laying all over the place, you know, it just sucks up the RF.
Yeah.
Well, my stereo's okay. I worked on it until I conquered it, but I used to get into my next door neighbor's stereo and my daughter's stereo, even when it was turned off. And so she thought she was being visited by ghosts. And she's 34 now, and I still hear about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been doing this, for about 45 something years now, and every year it's something new, something different.
Yeah, what do you think is the newest and greatest now?
For me, it's several. I'm big on the Arduino, but that's me. I think the FT8 and the new FT8, what do they call that? The call mode.
Yeah.
Basically the de-expedition mode for FT8. It's opened up the world for things like Earth, Moon, Earth, and VHF, the meteor scatter, and just for being able to get on the air when there's no sunspot activity. So I think you're going to see these digital modes keep getting better and better and better. Not that they're bad now. I mean, Joe Taylor's just done a fabulous job with the JT65 and the FT8. FT8 is just amazing. And JT65 was like watching a washing machine. All right, FT8's a whole lot quicker. You got to be on the ball. But I think the digital modes are going to catch on. In certain areas, I can see the mesh technology coming to play, particularly in disaster recovery scenarios where you need to set up an internet real quick. You can deploy and have a local high-speed network availability just from one high point. So I can see it being used in disaster recovery, so I think you're going to see more migration there, and Pat can probably talk more about where they're going with the high-end VHF, UHF stuff.
Or higher.
Well,
Yeah.
well, they're coming out with the brand new, the 9700. ICOM's releasing that real soon. I don't know what the price tag's going to be on it, but there's some nice. This SDR architecture is unbelievable.
Hey, here's a new band that just came out this past year, and maybe after I do my EME and my other stuff, I might get to it. But 630 meters, and
Yes.
the low frequency
The
stuff.
super low stuff.
Yeah.
You know, that's,
Yeah, as long as you live on a couple hundred acres.
well, this is one where you're going to have to load the guardrail on the interstate to get the length of the antenna.
Yeah.
But
Well, people are actually they're making some pretty long contacts
Yeah.
with fairly small antennas, but boy,
yeah,
it's it's not an easy thing, and of course I think that's where digital might play in too.
yeah.
You put that digital on that low frequency signal, and you might be able. I doubt you're going to talk to anybody by voice, but maybe a digital signal on there, you
I've
probably
never
will.
really operated below 160, but
Yeah.
yeah, the 630 meters and that area kind of seems like fun. Right now, I'm really wanting to focus in on 6 meters. I've been just having too much fun.
Well, the new release, and I'm going to get some information. I know Joe just released WJST was at 2 point something, and now there's the new FT8 call mode,
Correct.
the
Right.
de-expedition mode, and now I believe they're separating out the DX window. So 313 has always been for the United States, and then was it 320 or I can't remember now, moved up for the international guys. And I think they're even doing something with the meteor scatter, 260 being the calling, and now 280 I think being something else. So I saw a bunch of stuff pop through. I don't know all the details, but we'll dig into it.
Yeah, that just the whole concept of FT8 is just amazing with what that does.
Now, all these
For sure.
6 meter contacts I've been hearing about, is that all sporadic E?
Yeah, well, we worked a lot of JAs this summer in August. I know all the guys east of the mountains here were working Europe, no problem at all. I worked
Well, do
down
you
in
think
the
that was
Belize,
was that F layer or sporadic E?
double hop, triple hop.
Okay. Huh.
Well, Mike, we really enjoyed looking at your pictures tonight. You were kind of the highlight of the show tonight.
That was some beautiful stuff, Mike.
Oh, gorgeous.
Well, thank you very much, and I liked the show. I enjoyed it.
Well, tune back in some week when we actually have one planned.
Yeah.
It might
All
turn
right.
out it might turn out better, you know.
Well, here, this has been sitting here on the side of the
what do you-
table
what
all
do you
night
got there?
long.
Yeah, tell us about it. What do you got there?
All right. Just so you know, I have broken down and have agreed to do an Arduino 3 book for ARRL. This is actually one of the projects in the book. This is a emulation of the Yaesu FH2 remote keypad for $10.
Now, what does Yaesu
Really?
sell theirs for?
100 and something.
100 something, and you can build this for $10.
Build this for $10. And
All right.
It plugs right into the back. What is it? The FT 950, 1200, 2000, 3000, 5000 all use the FH2 remote control. And so this emulates it. The cool thing here is I don't use precision resistors for this. I use a digitally controlled potentiometer to set the resistances that this needs to select the key code.
A digitally controlled
Really?
potentiometer.
Correct.
Is that such a device? I
Yes,
make one of those?
it is a 200. This particular one is a 256 step
Okay.
pot
Okay.
that I give it an 8-bit control code, and it selects the resistance.
That's cool. Yeah.
Simply by the control code, and they come in all values. These are 10Ks, but they make them 50, 100K, 1K, and I actually have 2 of them stacked. And so you can pretty much, remember the old days when we had those resistor boxes, the substitution boxes?
Yeah.
That you had to dial in? Now
Yeah.
you can do it with like 3 chips and
That's cool.
cover, 0 to 100K. And so that's going to be one. I can't really talk about the other projects that are going to be in the book just yet, but they are on the way. Yeah, it fell out. This is a prototype,
Okay.
and
All right. Well, guys, we need to
Go
bring up Hangout and see if anybody, I know we may have a couple people that want to say hi on Hangout, so that's the next part of the show. So, Mike,
Okay, well, I
we're
need
going
to leave according to the woman that just walked by and gave me certain hand signals.
Okay. All right, Mike. Hey, nice meeting you, Mike, and thanks a lot for joining the show tonight. We enjoy the pictures.
A lot of those hand signals involve, if you would like to live and see the sunrise, you will do this now.
Is that what it means? Yes. I've been wondering.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well, thanks, guys.
Good night, man.
Thanks,
for a
Mike.
good show.
You wanna
Have a good
yeah,
night.
hang out.
73.
All right, all right. So look, let me bring Hangout up real quick, and we're not going to stay in here for about 5 or 10 minutes. I just want to see who's in Hangout. Pat, we're going to drop you because I need to use this machine to bring Hangout up. But we posted the Hangout link in the room, and if anybody wants to, if you want to click on Hangout, you can join the group. Now, hey, we had a little trouble last week. Let me give you guys some pre-instructions first. If you join us on Hangout, all you have to do is click the link, and we'll see you with your camera and we can hear you. But here's the thing, listen very carefully. Turn the audio off on the show. The little video player you're watching the show on right now, hit the mute button or stop it. Because if you get on Hangout, Hangout is real-time communications, and you're going to be causing interference to the show with a 30-second delay audio. So mute your audio on the show, and you can join us on Hangout. Let me bring Hangout up real quick. Let's just see who's there.
Teresa's there.
We've got Teresa. There we go. We've got Teresa. She's the only one. Maybe we just went too late tonight. I don't
Well,
know.
we did, yeah. Well, you know, anytime I come here, we're going to run late, even if you say I only got 5 minutes.
Yeah, let me get this on here.
I only used 5 minutes, but you used me for everything else.
There we go. All right. Hey, Teresa, how you doing?
Do you feel used?
I feel so used
How
and
you doing?
abused.
How you doing? Can't hear you. She's not talking.
She's not talking.
Looks like nobody else on Hangout tonight, so we're going to do the old countdown. We're probably going to get off here. I'm about to lose my voice.
You're about to lose your voice, yeah. Katie's going to have to fill in for you next week.
Man. Teresa. Hey, there's Bill. Hey, Bill.
Hey,
Hey, Bill.
hey, Glenn,
All right. Well,
and this Miss Terry be hiding. Hello, Miss Terry.
Yeah, she's hiding.
oh, man. I don't know why I lose my voice here.
But those of you that want to see Terry, grab your August copy of QST, and what is it, page 71?
Terrible picture.
It's a terrible picture, but they got a picture of her and her Arduino project. And coming up this spring, I believe it's going to be that she's going to be having her own article there in QST on some homebrew stuff that she's done. So, but
Nice.
so
All right, Bill's got a request there. He wants you to build him one.
I done replied to him.
Oh, okay.
I told him he's going to have to buy the book.
Oh yeah, he did. He told me I got to bring my radio down to his house, and he'll show me how to make one.
Well, see, I've got an FT950 and a 991A and an 847, so I kind of got you bracketed. I really don't need the 1200. And actually, to be
Well, I
honest,
just want to make sure it's going to work.
I love my 950. I put the pan adapter in it, and I dearly love that 950. But I got the 991A. I have been promising myself that for a while. And I didn't realize that 991A has a sound card built into it.
Yeah.
So it's literally plug that thing into a USB
Yeah.
port and bang, I'm on FT8 and JT65. I was just amazed.
My stomach virus, and it was hurting before bed. And then I have Nate, and then I have gassy belly, and then is that you?
Mm-hmm.
Can't see you. Oh my gosh, you see the top of your head.
No, that's ain't me.
Oh, what is that?
All
Hello.
right.
Yeah,
The person named Radio. We're listening to the person named Radio there.
Yeah.
Hey, Mike, how you doing?
That's me, Tom.
That's what?
It's me. It's Pat, K7LMP.
Oh, hey,
that's
hey,
Pat.
Pat. Oh, okay. Oh, you okay? Yeah,
I don't know
okay.
why my video isn't here. It's weird.
You had it a minute ago.
Well, it was here. Yeah, it was
You had it,
just
now it's
there,
there.
you're
It's
back.
there. It's there.
Oh,
You
cool.
got it.
There you go.
You've got it. All right.
Was that Teresa?
That's Teresa.
Okay.
Yep, Trouble's here. Well, actually, Trouble's been here the whole time. I mean, you got Glenn sitting up there next to Tom.
Yeah, Teresa, it has nowhere close. We've had Terry on the other side here, and you want to talk about trouble. Her call used to be W6TRB. If that don't mean trouble, I don't know what does.
TRB?
TRB.
I thought TBL, trouble.
No, TRB, trouble. That's how they do it in California.
Oh, okay.
That's not true.
Grab a mic and defend yourself.
No. I'll stay over here.
But actually, it was Martin Zhu who shamed her into changing her call.
Yep.
And she ended up with AC5YL because we ran into Martin at a Costco here. And he was like,
Did you see those?
"Oh, you from California?
Are
You open
you
them?
visiting?
You're visiting?" And she said no, and within a week she had the 5 call.
Hey guys, I got to jump out here. I got some stuff going on. It was
Okay.
cool being here, Tom. Looking forward to getting some. We'll get something together for next Tuesday night. It was a lot of fun.
All right. We'll
Thank
see
you,
you.
Pat. I look forward to it.
All right. Good night.
All right,
Night,
nice
Pat.
meeting everybody. Take care. Good night.
All right. Well, God, I'm getting hungry.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go to work tomorrow morning.
Are you?
Yeah.
Yeah, speaking of work, Jeff said to tell you hello, and he's sorry he missed you, Tom, but he has to go to work tomorrow.
Yeah, that's a horrible
Jeff
thing.
is the big boss up there. He don't have to be at work in the morning. He can go in at 11 o'clock if he wants to.
Must be
But
nice.
I don't give him a lot of problems since I'm in his will. You know.
Well, yeah, I mean,
Gotta
you
let
know,
it go.
that's, you gotta have to let that slide.
I'm in Glenn's will. I get his 2 cats. I
Yeah.
don't
That's
get
good.
any of his radios.
No, she don't get none of the radios.
None of his antennas, but I get the 2
You
cats.
get the cats.
Oh man.
You know, speaking of which, you know, Godzilla and Rodan went to a cat show about 3 weeks ago, and they went up against the top cats in the world, and in a world where it's boys beat anything, these 3 girls actually took several third best of breeds against the big boys. So they held their own. As a matter of fact, the top owner of one of the boys asked me, "Why are you showing girls?" And I'm like, she says, "The girls never win." And I just looked over and said, "I just beat you, didn't I?" And that kind of stopped that in its tracks.
Yeah. Oh, hey, it's bad news, man. I took some wrong medicine the other day.
Uh-oh, what'd you take?
Well, but the good news is I'm not going to have any heartworms or other, you know.
Well, you know,
Flea
I got some
problems
stuff
for
out
a
in the car
while,
that if
you
you're
know.
concerned about hairballs, we can solve that too.
Oh, man, that may be what.
Oh,
Maybe what I got right here. So
Yeah.
it feels like it.
You're allergic to cats, that's what it is.
Could be. Could be. All right, Mike, you hadn't said much up there. Why do you check in the net today, Mike?
oh.
Yeah, see, Teresa forgot.
No, actually, I still can't
Oh,
check in.
okay.
I have high SWR,
Okay.
but I was able to hear you.
Well, you know, there's a cure for that. Doctors have got a
Right
couple
here.
pills you can take and solve that high SWR problem.
All right. Well, that's good. I did hear. I heard Bill in here. Bill
Bill
Up
was in
in-
here and he's. We're now looking at an empty.
in Massachusetts.
empty chair.
Where'd he go?
I'm here.
There he is.
Bill, I did hear you, but you were really weak again, and you had a relay. But I did hear you again today.
Okay, I'll try it now.
I'm
Have we heard?
$400 short of my AL80B, and it's coming.
Okay.
I think I went out and came back in. Now you can hear me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
now we can hear you.
when you came in, we quit talking about you. Somebody
I
wanted to
know,
know.
I was hearing you though.
Any plans to discuss lightning protection in the near future? We probably could. You know, that's a kind of
They had two
interesting
forums
thing.
in Huntsville about
Yeah.
lightning protection, so that would be something to follow up on.
You think people really know the answer? I mean,
Yeah.
you know, and especially, I don't think there's a whole lot you can do for direct hits. I mean, that's just pretty powerful stuff, man.
Yeah. No, and growing up in Florida, lightning is just a fact of life. You can do what you can to protect against it, but if it wants you, it's going to get you. It's going to get all your equipment. I mean, it doesn't matter how you got your grounding and wiring and everything else. If it wants that piece of equipment, it's going to get it.
No,
Yeah, it's just a matter of luck. You don't get hit.
Yeah.
that's true. And
yeah.
and don't even think it's going to come on the antenna. If you got a phone patch hooked up, I've had it come in through the phone lines and fry my radio before.
That actually happened in my house in Alabama. It came in on the phone lines, and it, you know, the analog phone lines have a carbon block at the building entrance, but apparently mine had been hit by lightning so much it was no longer working. Came right in, and it blew one of those old Hayes 300 baud smart modems, literally blew it across the room. And yeah, believe it or
That's
not.
what got me was I had a electric strike come in through the modem.
Yeah.
Line.
Phone lines seem to be where it comes in more often than antennas, but you know, antennas are nice big grounding rods in the sky, so you know,
rotor cables.
rotor cables. Yeah, nobody thinks about rotor cables, and lightning is really RF energy. Matter of fact, the Arduino lightning detectors detect at a frequency of 500 and something kilohertz. So you're dealing with 500 and something kilohertz of RF energy. It's going to come down your antenna. It's going to induce power everywhere and spike everything. But yeah, I think having
Yeah, I'll knock on wood. I've been lucky over the years. I haven't been hit with anything, but
And-
I don't hold my breath.
In 50 years, my ham station's been hit twice, probably in 54 years. I mean, hey, it's going to happen, man.
well, like I say, those egg beaters got hit.
All I do is I got my coaxial switching box, and I got the jumper to one that goes to my HF rig, the other one to my 2-meter dual bander, and
Yep.
I undo the jumper from the coaxial switching to the radio, so at least that's not connected to the radio. I leave that, especially in the summer. It's like every day it's automatic. If I'm not in here, I just reach down and unscrew those.
I always keep my antennas unhooked, but that's when I got hit. The last time I got hit, the antenna was unhooked and it still got the radio. It came in through the phone line, then it went through there and it went to ground, man.
Yep.
You know, it found the path to ground.
If it wants you, it's going to get you.
In fact, some hams tell me they don't even hook a ground up anymore because just of that exact problem. That lightning is going to
Yeah, it's going to
seek
find a
ground, man.
place.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got the push-on PL259s on all of my antennas at the house. I've got a patch panel in my shack, and yeah, I only plug in. I have one sacrificial radio, and believe it or not, it's been hit 2 or 3 times and actually still works. That's a Yaesu 2200H, and that's my sacrificial radio that's on the vertical on top of the tower. You know, that's the one I leave on for weather nets and things like that, knowing full well it's going to get blown off the workbench at some point. But
Well, guys, it's getting very late. This is one of the latest shows that we've had.
he wants his peanut butter and
I
jelly
think I'm going to
sandwich.
get off of here and find me something to eat.
I think he's got the right idea there.
Might be popcorn tonight.
Not the popcorn?
Yeah, might be.
I don't know what I got a hankering for, but it ain't popcorn.
Hey, why wouldn't Facebook let you post on those other sites?
Well,
Oh, Facebook won't let me post anything.
somebody has marked me as spamming. Nearly every group I post our show in, they really appreciate it. I had one guy last week that wrote in capital letters spam under one of my posts, and the admin told him, this is not spam. Tom's a contributor to our group, good stuff here, and they took his posting off. But somehow I guess I'm marked as a spammer.
There's
and,
always one bad egg that has to ruin it for everybody.
And let me tell you, I posted one post at 1:20 a.m. I used a picture and a description, and then at 9:30 the next morning, or that morning, I posted a second picture, with a different description. It wasn't even the same picture. And instantly it says, I've been blocked till October 1st. So, you know.
Somebody's got it out for you.
Yeah, somebody got it out for me. So anyway, so I just need help. Anybody that watches the show or is in our Facebook group, we've got 8,000 people in our Facebook group. If everybody in our Facebook group would just take our weekly show posting and share it to one group that you're with, just one, you know, one group, nothing would happen, you know. I mean,
Yeah, we got one, the Uper Ham Radio swap group here in the UP, so I just shared it with that. Yeah.
well, that's great. Well, see, I was sharing in about 90 ham radio groups.
Well, matter of fact, when I shared it to the group, it also showed up on my Facebook page.
Did it? Okay.
Yeah.
And I always try to make sure I post it into the BVARC group down in Houston.
Well, I appreciate it. If you guys can help us just share that, I have started sharing it less and less because of these things. I got to where I was just posting I was doing 4 posts per hour, and then I was getting by okay. You know, if I did 15 or 20 posts in a period of 30 minutes,
It's just some individuals.
the computer would say you're posting the same thing too much. So
it's like that thing that Riley talks about. You know, you hear somebody on the air
Yeah.
and they're obnoxious and they're driving you nuts. Turn the dial.
Turn the big knob.
Turn the big knob. No, these people have to hit that spam button just because.
Yeah. So anyway, again, if anybody can help us just share it one time or 2 times with any groups that you have, that would be great. Help us get the word out. We also share it on Google Communities. I share it to about 500,000 people on Google Communities, but we don't have 500,000 that joins us every night.
No, that's because I'm here.
Yeah.
I promise next time I'll take a bath earlier than Saturday.
All right, guys, we're going to sign off. Anybody shadow band? Yeah, I don't know if it's shadow band. It's a big band.
They just got somebody's got it in for you.
Yeah. Anybody? Okay. Good night to everybody in Hangout. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Okay, we'll see what next week brings.
Join us on the show.
I'll be back. See y'all at Day in the Park.
Goodbye.
Hey, see you later there, Glenn. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, guys. That's our show for tonight. Let's just put Glenn's twin brother on here. Where's your twin brother?
Oh, yeah.
Where's your twin brother? I lost it. There. No.
You've lost my twin brother.
It's right here somewhere.
I don't see it.
Probably.
Closer to the top row.
DNA probably blew up.
Yeah, I probably just really messed it up.
I don't know. He's gone.
I'm done. Is there a top row of stuff?
So when Glenn disappears, does
It's not on
twin
top.
brother come back?
I thought it might be on the next to the last row right here. Let's see.
I don't see it. Oh,
There it is,
far
right there. There it is. I got so many camera
You
shots,
both
I can't
saw it
find it, man. I
simultaneously.
can't find it. Here we go. Don't this look like Glenn?
So you're saying I can ask this cat any question?
The cat is connected to the computer. You just type in the question.
Shadow
It will read his mind. There the answer comes.
You gotta make that little green.
You're the man! I've been looking for this for weeks.
We have the demons. We have the technology. We can make it happen.
All right.
No doubt we can make that happen.
Good night, everybody. Good night.
Night all.